What current trends are taking the fitness world by storm? Well, stay tuned to find out more. Well, welcome listeners to Advanced Radio, and we are so happy that you joined us here today. And we have an exciting article to share with you. It is called Update Your Workout. Now, it's our fitness article for the month of September. But before we get started, I want to introduce my fellow hosts on the show today. So to my left, who is this lovely lady sitting next to me?
Hi, I am Linda C.
Hi, Linda C.
Hi, Amanda. And I'm very happy to be here to talk about this fitness article with you.
We're very happy you're here too because you have a lot of wisdom to share with us today. And over on my right, I have with us...
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm so excited to be back here with all of you. I sure hope you guys enjoy being fit and working out because that's what we're going to talk about.
That's exactly what we're going to talk about, and I love the way you rhymed that, Ben. Well done.
Yeah, great job.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there'll be more to come.
Perhaps so.
As we go on. Well, before we continue into the article itself, I would like to ask you both a question. Do you like to work out, Linda?
I don't really like using the word workout because when I hear that word, I think of going to the gym, which is something that I don't really like to do, but I do like exercising outdoors.
Aha, so you're an outdoors person.
Right.
Okay, good. And what about you, Ben?
I like working out. I don't work it out enough. Often I will do a lot of energetic things during my day, but I don't usually purposefully work out per se. But I do like to play basketball, and I like to swim.
Right, I think there's a lot in that word work out, right? Because we see the word work, so we think, oh man, that's something maybe that's not too enjoyable. But I do think it's very important, listeners, that we find a workout or a fitness exercise that we do that we enjoy, like you were saying, Ben. Maybe you're an outdoors person or maybe you're an indoors person. You know, there are so many different sports and activities available to get your heart rate going, to get the blood pumping in the body. I would have to say I like working out too, as long as there's music. For me, music gets me motivated, and so I prefer to do things maybe that are dance-related, that kind of thing, or to have music going with me. I'm a bit like Ben. I think I need to do it more often than I currently am.
I think we all feel that way.
Right?
You feel that way too?
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of biking. I bike every day to work, but that's just such a short distance. And I do longer bike rides, but I feel, I need to expand my exercise routine so that it includes more than biking.
Right.
Yeah. I think sweating, when I sweat, I feel like, that was a good exercise right there.
But here, the weather here, you just sweat without doing anything. So I don't know if that would count, a lot.
So I end every day happy with myself.
There you go. You think you exercised, right? Well, listeners, we hope that we learn a little bit about the current trends that are happening in the workout world. Our article is called Update Your Workout, and I've mentioned a little bit of the deck we see underneath. We are talking about current trends, and these current trends are taking the fitness world by storm. Well, Linda, what does that phrase, take something or somebody by storm, mean?
Well, it means to be extremely successful quite suddenly in a place or with a group of people. So if this trend is taking the fitness world by storm, it's suddenly becoming very popular and everybody wants to do it.
Right, because often a storm actually does do that, doesn't it? We've been experiencing thunderstorms ourselves lately, and it can come very suddenly. 1 minute it's sunny, the next minute it's raining. So that's where that idiom is coming from. But listeners, let's get into our article today. I invite you to join us on page 36 of your magazine or electronic device, and we will be looking at column 1.
update your workout. These current trends are taking the fitness world by storm. Marquette's Visualization Laboratory turns spin class into a virtual road trip. We have so much on our plates, but a run along the lakefront isn't realistic. A drive to the gym isn't happening, and a long bike ride isn't feasible. Or is it? If you're one of 2,700 employees on the campus of Marquette University, a ride through Hawaii or Montana or Germany is just one immersive cycling spin class in the Visualization Laboratory away. Tucked in a corner of the Helfer Tennis Stadium and Recreation Center is a fitness room packed with 20 stationary bikes in front of an 18-foot wide, 8.5-foot tall, immersive visualization screen. It's like an IMAX theater screen in front of the bike, and it projects homemade movies shot by MU professors and staffers with their GoPro cameras.
Well, we are on our first day of our fitness article for September, and we hope you're joining us in this Update Your Workout article. And on this day, the 23rd of September, we're looking at a visualization laboratory. It is in a university called Marquette University. Now, Linda, where is Marquette University located?
It is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which can get pretty cold during the winter.
So this may be the ideal thing to do if you don't want to go outside in the chilly weather. We learned that they have turned a spin class into a virtual road trip. Now, what is a road trip, Ben?
Well, when you go somewhere that's far away, you might take a car and you might go on a long, long drive, maybe 8 hours, maybe a couple days, and we call that a road trip. It's not on a train, it's not on a plane, it's on the road.
Right, and we see here this is virtual. Now, we've seen a lot recently in technology. We've talked about virtual reality in different articles in the past, and this is becoming a trend that is very popular, whether it has to do with shopping, whether it has to do with home entertainment, and now we see it coming into the fitness world as well. So this is a laboratory that turns a spin class into a virtual road trip. Now we go on into our article with a phrase. It says, "We have so much on our plates." Linda, what does that mean?
Well, when you have a lot on your plate, it means that you have a lot to do. In a work environment or professional environment, it would mean that you have a lot of work responsibilities. At home or in your personal life, maybe you just have a lot of stuff to do. It can be a combination. Work, home, other things.
Right, and that's true in our world today. We are combining or trying to juggle a lot of different things on our schedule. We may have to go to work very early, and then we have to do things after work. Perhaps you're looking after children, or you've got other commitments. So we're trying to pack a lot of things into our schedule. But it goes on to say, but a run along the lakefront isn't realistic, or a drive to the gym isn't happening, and a long bike ride isn't feasible. Ben, what does feasible mean?
Well, just before this word, it said isn't realistic, isn't happening, and isn't feasible. They're all very similar meanings. Feasible means that you can do something. It is possible. And not feasible means it's not possible. So these three things, running along a lakefront, driving to the gym, and a long bike ride, are not possible.
Have you felt this way before?
Well, yeah, due to time restraints, or it could also be due to the weather. I mentioned earlier that Marquette University is in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it gets cold, so you might not want to go in the snow, or it might not even be possible to go in the snow for a bike ride, or even to drive to the gym.
Right, so you may just be controlled by the weather,
Exactly.
not just your
That's
circumstances.
Right. Amanda, I woke up early today, and I was so happy. I was excited because I wanted to run. But guess what? It was raining.
I had the same thing happen to me, but I wasn't excited to be up early. I just woke up early, but it was raining.
I know. The one day I wake up early, it rains. It's not feasible. You
There
can't
you
run.
go. So we need another alternative. Perhaps we need this visualization road trip as well. Well, we see that they're here at the university. The university has how many employees, Linda?
2,700 employees.
And that's just on the campus of Marquette University. And we see that if you're one of them, a ride through Hawaii or Montana, which is another state, right? And or Germany, another country, is just one immersive cycling spin class in the visualization laboratory away. Now that's a phrase we often use, just one step away or just one thing away. What do we mean by that, Ben?
It is very close to happening. It will happen very soon. If I have to make some food and I have some food ready, but it's not warm enough, I'm just one step away. All I need to do is put it in the microwave and warm it up, and that's one step. So if you have a very simple step that you need to do and it will be completed, that is one step away.
So being able to do a workout here is very, very close by because of an immersive cycling spin class in the visualization laboratory. And what is immersive cycling, Linda?
Well, we look at the word immersive and we see immerse in there. And immerse means to, it can have the meaning of dunking in water, immersing in water, or being completely engaged or surrounded by something. So the immersive cycling spin class, you are completely engaged in this cycling environment. So it has music, has the video, and we'll read later on how the video, the visualization is presented, but you're completely surrounded by it.
Right. And you are a cyclist yourself.
I
and
am.
when you are cycling, is it a very immersive experience for you?
It is, especially when I'm in nature, like I'm not on the street and, when I'm in the city, I have to think about a lot of things in terms of safety. But when I'm out, like in the mountains or, just in nature, then I can feel completely immersed.
Right. Well, that's good. And it seems like they have been trying to replicate, to copy that experience from real life in a visual and a virtual way. Well, we see tucked in a corner of the tennis stadium and recreation center of the university is a fitness room packed with what, Ben?
Well, 20 stationary bikes. A stationary bike is an interesting word, because bikes usually move. But a stationary bike is a bike that doesn't move. The wheels will spin, but the bike won't actually move. And so these are 20 different stationary bikes, and they're in front of an 18-foot wide, 8.5 foot tall, immersive visualizing screen.
So that is a big screen.
That's right, a big screen.
Usually a spin class is done just with the instructor in front and the stereo system, not usually a big screen, but here we see that they do have one. In fact, they go on to say it's like an IMAX theater screen. So can you imagine if you've been to an IMAX theater, that is a huge screen, right?
Huge.
Huge. And you have all these bikes in front of it, and it projects homemade movies. And who are they shot by, Linda?
Well, they were taken by the Marquette University professors and staffers using their GoPro cameras.
Okay, so this is the videos that they're using to make this immersive experience happen. Well, let's go on to our second column for today to find out more information.
Increasing mental clarity. To do a class in the middle of the day just really promotes mental clarity, said Sandra Hunter, professor in exercise science. The spin class is the latest addition to MU's visualization laboratory. The screen covers 180 degrees of the cyclist's periphery, giving it a virtual reality feeling. and those who choose the front row get the most effective visual experience, an upgraded experience. The theory behind Marquette's visualization laboratory and the immersive cycling is that immersive experiences promote active learning, critical thinking, decision-making, and improved performance. The $25,000 Viz Lab exercise room is part of the Opus College of Engineering and is overseen by John Ledisa, an associate professor of biomedical engineering and the director of the MU Visualization Lab. Our goal is to give busy people a quality workout over lunch in a way that's motivating, said Ledisa. I would never pull out my bike and go for a ride over lunch, but I would walk one building over and have some light therapy. It's for people like me who want to exercise but just can't find a lot of time.
Well, listeners, if you are just joining us, welcome to our article called Update Your Workout. This is our fitness article for September. And so far, we've been learning about Marquette University's Visualization Laboratory, which has turned spin class into a virtual road trip. Now, we're learning about how they have been able to do that, or where it is situated on their campus. It is tucked in a corner of the tennis stadium and recreation center. They have a fitness room there with 20 stationary bikes, and they have a huge screen, like an IMAX screen, where what do they project onto their screen, Ben?
Well, they have homemade movies that are shot by just professors and people who work at the university there.
Now, I've seen the GoPro camera at work, and they do a very good picture of recording things. Recently, I took a motorcycle trip where we did a lot of shooting with the GoPro camera and looked at it again later, and it felt like you were reliving the experience, picking up the sounds of nature as we're going along. And so I think that it's been really useful for these professors and staffers to get a good, clear picture of being in nature and traveling. Actually, at the top of our page, on page 36 on the left-hand side, we can see some of these stationary bikers looking at a screen. So there's your virtual road trip happening there in that picture. Now, we go on to learn a little bit more how this virtual road trip works and why it is useful. At the top of the second column, we've entitled the paragraph, Increasing Mental Clarity. Now, Linda, what does it mean to have clarity?
That's just the quality of being clear or having a clear understanding.
Which is good. When we're talking about something being mental, we're talking about in our brain, in our mind.
Exactly.
And so exercise is well known to increase our mental clarity. But here we're talking about a certain situation. What do we learn in the first sentence, Ben?
Well, this lady is talking about promoting mental clarity. She says that to do a class in the middle of the day just really promotes mental clarity. And by that she means that during the day maybe she's gotten tired and maybe she's not thinking straight, not thinking clearly, and doing a little exercise on a bike in the middle of the day, it promotes, which means it produces or it creates more mental clarity for her.
Exactly, and we learn that Sandra Hunter is a professor in exercise science. Now, exercise science is the study of the body's response to physical activity. It's a very interesting science, and we see that this spin class is a latest addition to their visualization laboratory. What do we mean when something is the latest addition, Linda?
It's the newest thing that they've added.
Right, so we're very up to date here. And what do we learn about this screen, Ben?
180 degrees of the cyclist's periphery is the screen. And what that means is a circle is 360 degrees. So half of that circle would be 180. I think everyone knows. But the screen is covering from all the way from your left ear to all the way to your right ear. you're going to be seeing this visualized trip. And the periphery is the outside edges of your vision. So all of your vision is seeing this virtual trip.
Right. So without actually turning around, you'd get your 360-degree view. But if you're looking straight ahead, then you're only going to get that 180-degree vision there. So that's pretty amazing. The screen can do that.
Right. So it will give you that feeling of being immersed, whether on the road or, in nature somewhere.
And if you really want to experience this, where should you be in the laboratory?
Right at the front.
Yeah.
In the front row.
Yeah, if you're in the back, all you get to see is the bike people in front of you.
And we talk about concerts like that too, don't we? Get to the front row. That's the best seats in the house, right?
Although this wouldn't be that bad. You could just pretend that, you're on a road trip with fellow cyclists, and you're traveling in a group.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, and maybe ask the other person to move over if you, you can't see.
Passing on the left.
Well, we learn it's an upgraded experience. Now we're going to find out what they mean by that. What is the theory behind Marquette's Visualization Laboratory, Linda?
Well, they want to promote active learning, critical thinking, decision-making, and improved performance. And through the different projects, especially with this immersive cycling, they hope that they can achieve that.
Right. Okay. And that's very important. They are at a university, and of course, so they're wanting to promote learning, and the best way to do that, and they're coming up with this way to really help the students and the staff be able to do that. Now, how much does this laboratory cost, Ben?
Quite a bit. $25,000, which is a little bit more. And I think you could buy a car with that much money. Mm-hmm. But I guess it's worth it. If you're going to exercise and keep your body fit and healthy, it's probably better than buying a new car.
Well, if it improves performance, then you're hoping that that result will come out in other things on campus at the university as well. We see, interestingly, that they have shortened the name of the lab. They call it Viz Lab. Viz meaning visualization. That's a bit long, isn't it, Linda?
Yeah, it's a mouthful, so just reducing it to one syllable makes it easier.
And it's a part of another department on the campus. What department is that, Linda?
It is part of the Opus College of Engineering.
Right, and we see that it's overseen by John Ladisa. What do we mean when something is overseen, Ben?
Someone is looking over it, making sure it's doing okay.
Right. Okay, good. Now, he's an associate professor of biomedical engineering. Now, biomedical engineering, bio meaning biology, medical meaning medicine, and engineering, of course, meaning engineering. So what they're doing is they're studying how the concept of how things work in the body for medical reasons. Now, of course, this is a big field of study, but here we see he's deliberately looking at exercise science, and he's also the director of this visualization laboratory. And what does he say his goal is, Linda?
They want to give busy people a quality workout, either over lunch or a short time. That's really motivating. And I think this is a very good goal, because you mentioned earlier, people, sometimes it's hard to go for a workout, whether it's because of the weather or because you're too busy or time constraints. And being able to go for a quick bike ride over lunch, that's really convenient.
That sounds like your dream.
Well, my ideal is to actually be in nature, not have to visualize it, or be in virtual reality.
Well, we see he goes on to say something a little bit more, Ben. What does he say?
Oh, he was just talking about the difficulties of riding his bike, and he said, I would never pull out my bike and go for a ride over lunch, but I would walk one building over and have some light therapy. It's just for people like me who want to exercise but just can't find a lot of time.
All right. And here, when we say some light therapy, we're just talking about some kind of treatment that makes you feel better. And we know that exercise, it increases what we call endorphins, that chemical around your body. Okay. And that makes you feel better. And Linda mentioned earlier in the program that it can get cold in Wisconsin. So this may be the ideal solution to that. Well, we see technology is really moving to the next level with this virtual road trip. Perhaps it's something you've thought about before. Perhaps you haven't, or perhaps you would like something like this, listeners. So I encourage you, as we finish for today, perhaps to give us any of your feedback about this kind of concept. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? Now, that's all the time we have for today, but make sure you check out more material from our advanced team through our QR codes in the magazines, or on our website, or on our mobile website through your phone. So join us next time, but until then, this is Amanda
And Ben.
And Linda.
saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.